If you're a heating and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what are some of the items that you should role play that have nothing to do with the money? And why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a perfect day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, right? So there's things that you should absolutely role play in the sales process that matter. And like a lot of times, like 80% of the time, it should be about the money. It should be about closes. But the other 20% of the time absolutely should be things that happen that cause you to not make sales in the sales process, that cause you problems, my friend. And one of those is when a buyer's not paying attention. And there's going to be a time that you meet with Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Jones, and they've got a million other things going on in their life. They've got kids at their house. They've got multiple people in their office. Whatever the situation may be, like, you need to respect yourself enough to go, hey, wait a minute. I am worthy of getting the attention that I need to do the job that I got asked to do. And I can think of a time early on in my sales career where I was in a home and the people got up from the table in the middle of a presentation and started cooking dinner. And I went to one of my friends and I said, hey, how would you deal with this? And he's like, the way that you deal with it is like, when am I coming back? Right? You got to give me the time of day. You picked this time for me to be here. You knew that I was going to be here and I'm a little bit amped up. So like you would have to match it to your personality and to your style, and be aware that like these are things that you should role play. The buyer's not paying attention to you, right? You should be able to come up with 2, 3, 4, 5 questions that's going to get them engaged. Hey, like I feel like this might be one of them. I feel like this isn't important to you anymore. You want to let me know what's going on? Right? That could be a way that you could do it. Or you could say, hey, we had an appointment set and it seems like you're more interested in your phone. Want to let me in on, like, is it an emergency? Right? Where did I lose you? Your question is going to be completely different than mine. I would probably be a little bit more aggressive than you, and that's okay. Take my and model it, but you have to stand up for yourself. You have to be willing to have the tough conversations. Like the person's not paying attention to your presentation. What's more important? You know, at one point I worked for my uncle and I told him about a time that the people that I was talking to were more interested in the football game. He goes, so then watch the football game with them, right? Evidently you don't care about buying a heating and air system right now, and football game's more important. We'll give you a presentation after the game's done. I've been at houses till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I've done this before, right? I didn't want to, but it was out of necessity and I had to. And for you, this is some of the concepts that you have to learn how to do and you have to learn how to work with. And I'm going to challenge you right now to come up with like 3, 4, 5 different ways to get somebody back on board when they're not paying attention. But be aware. Be fully aware that somebody may go, well, just give me your number. I really don't want a presentation. Well, you should role play that too, right? You should be able to say like, hey, wait a minute, time out. The company spent a bunch of resources to get me here. You have to be willing to give some sort of pushback. You have to be willing to have some sort of business boundaries. You have to be willing to have the tough conversation. If somebody's going to have the cojones to do something like that to me, then like in my mind, I go, wait a minute. If you're going to have the cojones to do this, I'm going to have the cojones to say something, right? Or if you're going to have the man cojones to say something like this and you're a woman, a chick, you're going to have to say, I'm going to have the lady balls to come back and say, this isn't cool. It's okay for you to give a level of pushback when somebody disrespects what you're doing. But here's the thing. There's going to be a point where you end up getting kicked out of a sales call. And you know what? You got to realize that it might have been you. It might have been something you say. You've got to learn how to calibrate this. You got to learn how to have the difficult conversations. And the tough thing is, I can't teach you how to do that on a video. The tough thing is, I could probably role play that with you, but it would take a couple hours during the day. Okay. But be aware that there are upsides to this and there's downsides to this. You've got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscription button, click on it every time I send a video. You'll get an update. 2, hit subscribe. 3, share this video or tag a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.